أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Said Farhad Ali with you. In this lecture, I will explain you people how we will take the posterior anterior radiograph of the chest. But before going towards the posterior anterior radiograph of the chest, allow me explain to you people what is posterior anterior and what is anterior posterior. In this image, you can see the same patient which is positioned in two different ways. In the first image, you can see the patient. This is the back side of the patient and this is the front side of the patient's body. And another image, this is the uh, front side of the patient's body and this is the back side of the patient's body. Okay, the back side of the patient is called posterior. Okay, and this one. And the anterior and the front side of the body is called anterior. So here this one is posterior and this is anterior. In this image, this one is anterior and this is posterior. For the anterior, we will use onward A, and for the posterior, we will use P. Okay, this one is the X-ray tube here, and here this is the X-ray tube. Now, look over here. From the X-ray tube, the X-rays are emitting in the first image. The X-ray tube, the X-rays are emitting, this one, first striking at the posterior side of the body, then getting into the body, emitting from the anterior side of the body, and then striking at the detector. This is the detector, okay? And I have shown you in the previous video, like you can say this is a detector or the cassette, which is getting the information from the patient, okay? Now, and in the second image, this is the X-ray source, okay? And the information in the X-rays is emitting from the X-ray source, interacting with the anterior side of the body, then getting into the body and uh, emitting and coming out of the posterior side of the body or of the back of the body and striking or pasting at the detector. Now, what's the difference between these two images? Why I explain you these things? Look over here now. In radiography, the patient side, which is near to the X-ray tube, we will take that first. Okay. So in the first image, the posterior side of the patient is near to the X-ray tube. Okay. The side which is near to the X-ray tube, we will take this first. So the posterior side of the patient body is near to the X-ray tube, we will take P first in the first image. Okay. And in the second image, the anterior side of the body is near to the X-ray tube, so here we will take A first. In the first image, the anterior side of the body or the chest is far away from the X-ray source or near to the detector, so we will take this after. The anterior side is away from the X-ray source, we took this after. Okay, and before we take uh, P, posterior. Okay, another thing, in the second image, the posterior side of the body is far away from the X-ray source or from the X-ray tube, so we will take this after P. So sorry, this P. Okay, so what happened here? PA and here AP, posterior anterior and anterior posterior. This is for P posterior, A anterior. Here A anterior, P posterior. So in the first one, this one, the body is positioned in the PA view, and in the second one, the body is positioned for the AP view. So I hope so the you people get the idea of the APN and the PA. Now let me tell you one thing more. The side of the patient which is near to the detector, here this one and here this one, the side of the patient's body or the organs of the patient's body which is near to the detector, will appear first on the radiograph. Okay, and the side of the body or the organs of the patient's body which is far away from the detector. Here now we are talking about the detector, not the X-ray tube. Okay, so the organs of the body which is far away from the detector will appear after. Okay, and this will appear magnify. Why this will appear magnify? Why this? Just keep this question in your mind, and I will explain in the next lecture that why we are taking PA, why the doctors are always advising chest PA, why they are not advising chest AP. Okay, this question keep in mind. I will clarify this question in the next lecture. I hope so the chest AP and PA phenomena is clear. Now come for the chest radiograph, chest PA position. The patient, this is the X-ray tube. The direction of the X-rays is here. If we switch on the X-rays, the X-ray will come down. For first, and this is the patient. Okay, this is the posterior side of the patient, and this is the anterior side of the patient. Now no need to explain more about posterior anterior. Okay, and this one is the detector, and this whole machine which we are talking about, this is the DR imaging system or the DR imaging machine. What we will do first, we will flip this side of the X-ray tube towards the patient. Now I flip the window side of the X-ray tube towards the patient. Now when I expose, the X-ray will come out of this area. Here you can see clearly the X-rays is coming out of the X-ray tube through window and striking at the posterior side of the body, then getting into the body and coming out of the interior side of the body. This is the interior side of the body, and at the last the X-rays are pasting at the detector or at the bucky, and this X-rays is getting all the information from the body, okay, and pasting at the detector. Why the X-rays is taking information, like what is X-rays and what is inside the X-rays which is taking the information from the body. So X-rays are photon. X-rays are photon. It is a packet of energy. When energy is getting into our body, it is taking all the information of the body, and at the front of the body we put our pace detector here. Okay, or place detector here. So it's taking all the information from the body and pasting over the detector. This image is only for your explanation. You can see the information from the body is pasted over here on the detector, but on the detector the information the information of the body is not appearing, as I showed you in the previous video, that the information from that this detector is connected to the computer, and the information from the detector is going and connected through the cables with the computer, and the final image is appearing on the computer monitor. Suppose this is a computer monitor and the final information is displayed on the computer monitor. This is a theoretical way I explain you people how we will take the chest PA, what is difference between chest AP and PA, and I will explain you people in the next video or in the next lecture why we are taking chest PA instead of chest AP. Thank you so much for now.